a brief scene that takes place after Bernstein is talking about his wife and having dedicated West Side Story to her.
The most beautiful sound I ever heard. Its creation started at least 10 years before, and then in the late 1940s. The director, Jerry Robbins, he had this idea for a musical play, a modern version of Romeo and Juliet, except in our version, instead of the Montagues and Capulets, we would have Catholics and Jews. All the beautiful sound of the world in a single word.
Maestro Bernstein was created in 2009, and it is basically bringing to life Leonard Bernstein, of course, America's greatest conductor, one of the greatest conductors in the world, also a man who was a composer and wanted to be remembered as such.
Over the next 10 years, we went back and forth of what it was, what it should be. We got rid of the Jews, and we brought in the Puerto Ricans.
And it'll still be another 100 years before we know if the material really is great or not, in the same way that Beethoven is. And we struggle with that in this production, in this play, his whole idea about what that means.
An augmented fourth, because of the way it sounds, also known as the Devil's Interval. I want her, I need her. And because this is a love song, the Devil's Interval just has to resolve. I need her, Maria. I've just met a girl named Maria, and suddenly that name will never be the same to me.
He was a man who was publicly the husband to a beautiful woman and father to 3 beautiful children, and privately he had extramarital affairs with men. And love affairs, not just affairs.
Wagner's Liebestod, his love death from Tristan und Isolde. How softly and gently Tristan smiles.
And of course he really loved his wife, but he was faced with this enormous problem of wanting something else as well. So there was a lot of want unfulfilled in the case of Leonard Bernstein, and that poses a wonderful premise for a play.
Isolde arrives too late. All she remembers is Tristan's beautiful, soft, sweet smile, because Tristan is already dead, and then the erotic and the mystical pull her into death as well. We're together, they're forever united as one.
He made his debut on November 14th, 1943 at Carnegie Hall as Leonard Bernstein, and not the name that his mentor wanted him to take, which was Leonard Burns. All you have to say is November 1943, and the entire history of what was going on in the world adds a very deep sense to where this conductor and this man came from. And that in and of itself is an important American story.